Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to the Adobe XD Daily Creative Challenge. I'm your host, Andrea Eppy. Welcome to everyone in the chat. I hope you guys all had a wonderful Halloween weekend and you stayed safe and you did something fun. Mine was kind of a little boring. We did some pumpkin carving and we didn't do costumes, but hopefully next year. So welcome to everyone. Rosie shared a photo of her pumpkin with me. I loved seeing that. We've got Ellie. As always, if you guys have any questions about anything I'm doing throughout the stream, just pop it in that Behance chat and I will respond to your question. So today is Monday. It is our second week of our 2-week challenge. So it's day 5. I have another super fun challenge for you guys today. So let's go ahead and hop on over to Behance. All right, so I'm on behance.net/challenge/XD if you want to follow along with me. As always, go ahead and sign up by pressing this big blue button right here, and you'll get notified each day at 8 a.m. that there's a new challenge. And today is, let's scroll on down. Today we're going to be doing a fall festival map. So I want you guys to design a map experience for a fall festival. And we're going to display some other users as well as various stops and attractions. Really like whatever you want to add to this fall festival. And we're going to be using some plugins to discover unique avatars and try to make our workflow a little bit faster. So I know you guys always like to see a preview of what we're working on. So here is today's preview. Let's go ahead and make that a little bigger. If you want to do obviously mobile or tablet or desktop, you can always kind of switch whatever you feel like. I'm going to be doing desktop though. And so this is our map in here. You can use some scroll groups if you want. I'm going to be doing a little component right there, just being able to kind of click on each of these stands and show like what's going on in each of them. So, I've got like hayride, apple pie stand, arts and crafts, bunch of fun stuff. Something I wish I could have gone to this year, but maybe next year. All right. So let's see what else. Of course, if you're not already registered, or if you're not already a member of our XD Discord, this is where you can sign up here, bit.ly/XD Discord. And this is a really great community if you have not joined. I'll pull it up right here. So you can put your work in here if you want to get feedback on it. We've got some mentors over here. You can always see who's online. And just put your work in this current challenge channel right here, and then one of our mentors will get back to you and give you feedback if you'd like. And this is a great place to get some inspiration, seeing what everyone else is doing, or if you have any questions about anything XD related, this is the place to look. So we're going to look at a few of these towards the end of the stream if we have time. I've loved seeing all of these fall autumnal color palettes. Love looking at these. So stay tuned till the end for that. And of course, we're live every day at 2 p.m. Pacific. So let's hop into XD and we can get started on that design. Oh, I forgot to mention, start a file as always. If you want to grab that, just scroll on down here and click Get Started. And this will bring you to the Creative Cloud page where we host the starter files. So just press copy to your work and then it'll be copied over to your Creative Cloud files and you can find it there. So this portion is what you'll get in the starter file. You obviously won't get all my components or my like other artboards and stuff, but you can create whatever else you want. So we're going to be focusing on plugins today over here, and I'll kind of go through a few that I particularly like and use and come back to, especially for icons. But yeah, plugins is the thing that we are going to be learning today. We've got some inspiration here. There wasn't really any fall festival map examples already, but you can look at just like your general maps, have some like little location indicators like that sort of thing. If you're doing desktop, you can have a sidebar to kind of scroll through that list. Or you can do mobile, something a little simpler like this, and just show maybe different users in different locations. You know, maybe you have a little card that swipes up like this, and then you can kind of click around and see more details that way. But yeah, take it whatever direction you want. And the resource booklet, of course, make sure if you are looking at this, make sure you hop over to the components panel on this right side. I know someone was asking, how do I get through these different tabs? You have to click in the different components over here if you want to see some of those resources. And let's scroll on down to today's tips. So just consider the types of attractions that might be at a fall festival, maybe food stands, hay rides, pumpkin patches, haunted houses, things like that. And anytime you're doing a map, really, you sometimes want to think about your different zoom levels. So when you're zoomed out the furthest, you definitely want to use easily recognizable icons for each of those stands. Maybe you zoom in a little bit further, and I'm not going to focus so much on this particular thing today, but just something to keep in mind. When you zoom in a little further, you maybe want to see a little bit more information. So maybe it's just like the title of the stand, maybe it's an image. And then when you zoom in the furthest, or the closest rather, you would maybe see like all of those details. So price, I don't know, like a lot more images, all of the details you would see on that closest zoom in. So things to think about when zooming. All right, so I have this is just a 1920 by 1080 artboard over here. As I mentioned, you can grab whatever different size you want. If you want to do mobile, those are all right here. And I have gone ahead and locked this little rectangle in the back. So let me go to my layers. I just wanted like this brown kind of border to tie it all together. So that is locked. And let's go back to my document assets. I've got a few different colors. I love this color palette I chose today. Some colors, we got some character styles and some components, and I'm ready to design. All right, welcome everyone who's just joining. Welcome Corby, Sam, Mohammed, Luke, Ariana, Christina. Welcome everyone. Lots of familiar faces over there. All right, so I normally like to start on the menu bar, wherever that is. So up here, I'm going to add the logo, which I'm just gonna call Fall Festival. Nothing too crazy. And I'll just put that right there. Zoom in a bit. And then on this right side, so I've kind of blocked out with just some super simple lines that I want this top area to be the menu. I want this area to be the map to kind of scroll through. And then I want this area on the right to be each of our different stands that we can scroll through vertically. So also in the top menu, we'll need just like the most important pages on this site. So maybe buying tickets would be super important. And let's make this a little smaller. I'm using Proxima Nova today. Just an FYI, since this release is pretty new, I did notice that some of my different fonts weren't working with the character styles. So for instance, like if I'm clicking through Sophia Pro, I know wasn't working, and Omnis, but this Proxima Nova was. So if you're wondering why that's not working, I think it's just they'll get it sorted out pretty soon. Okay, so let's add maps, and I'll just add this brown color, and I want this one to be selected, so I'll make this semi-bold, and then we'll just add a circle on top so it looks like it's selected, and bring in that border a little bit of this circle. Okay. And then what else? Maybe about and contact. I don't want to make this too busy up here, so just like 4, so I think is the max usually. Over here, I think I'll add a search bar. That would be a perfect place to search through those events. We can just center that there. And then right here, like I mentioned, we're going to put our map. So let's kind of line it up with this Fall Festival logo, and then I'll just make a simple rectangle like this. Actually, let's move this over a bit. And let's see, let's choose this tan color, and I don't want a border. And actually, I'm going to end up masking this with a scroll group, so it really doesn't matter what size, particularly right now. But let's add a few like mappy things that we need. So of course, zooming in and out, maybe like finding where you are, an icon for that. And let's make sure those two are aligned right there. And then on this right side, this is where we can put all of our different stands in list view. So this is like the visual view, and this is the list view on the right side. So let's see, let's just copy and paste this text right here and left align it, and then I'll say explore festival stands, or maybe just explore festival, I'm not sure. And then let's see, click through some of these. I'll just do explore festival. Stands is a little too long. Okay, and then below that, let's add a repeat grid of some squares that we can put icons in. And I'm just bringing in that radius just a touch. And then we can change the background and do a repeat grid down here. I just want to make sure these are big enough to put like kind of an illustrative icon in each of these. And you can make as many as you want, doesn't really matter. And let's copy and paste this text, and then here, I've already got a list of fun like stands or events that I would want to see at a fall festival. So I'm just going to use a few of these. We can do like hayride. Actually, let's make this a little bigger. Okay, that one's good. Hayride, apple pie, stand, and you could use repeat grid on this too, but I'm gonna end up changing all of these colors. Arts and crafts stand, and candy corn stand, and just two more. Let's say a haunted house. This is like a really big fall festival maybe. And then apple cider, of course. That's a fall festival staple, I feel like. All right, so those are looking good. Let's start on our map a little bit more, add some more detail. So I found these amazing, these are just like 3D illustrations from Adobe stock. So let me pop this up. Maybe I didn't save it. Anyway, all you do is just search for, I think I just searched like 3D buildings in Adobe stock. And when I downloaded these, I realized that these are actually just vector, editable vector assets, and you can change these in Illustrator, which is really nice. So if you want to make them yourself, I mean, they're literally just like a few pen points there with some circles for the background for the little drop shadows there. But I thought those were cute. Give this kind of a 3D look, since on Monday we did more of a, or whenever we did the map last, we did more of a flat look. So I need to switch it up a little bit. So I'm just gonna add like some random shapes here. These can be our different stands. Okay, and then I'll start adding the trails. So for the trails, or the pathways, whatever you want to call it, I will make these a little bit lighter. Need this to be a border. And let's bring this up pretty big. Maybe like 30, around 30 or so, I'd say. And then just double click and move your anchor points a little bit, like kind of more in line with wherever the buildings are. And don't worry about them falling off the sides, because we're gonna use a clipping mask for all of this after the fact. So yeah. Oh, Scott in the chat just said isometric is also a good search term for this type of project. Yes, very good, good idea. Isometric illustrations. Okay, so let's make this like this. Just add a few more paths. I think that was 33. Move this. like this. Boom. This can also be our light tan, and this will be 33. And what I'm actually going to do is reuse some of the trees that we used from the last map, because why not? I'm always a fan of reusing assets and elements and illustrations if we can. So I'm just going to copy and paste a few of these around. And then what I'm going to do on top of these is add each of the icons that I put in here as like little location sort of pins for each of those, so we can tap on each of them, see that icon pop up and such. Oops. Copy and paste a few of these. There we go. And let's give these a little more symmetry. Okay. Maybe I'll add another path right here and bring this here. Maybe another one of these squares. Actually, let's do one of these over here. Maybe one of these over here. You get the idea. I'm not going to spend a whole ton of time working on this illustration, but I think that looks pretty good. Okay, so we've got all of our little buildings for our fall festival. And if you want to build this out a little bit further, I know some of you guys for the camping site did more of a fall festival, so I would say you kind of killed two birds with one stone with like knocking off both of those designs, since this one's more of a fall festival. But if you didn't do that one, I'll show you how to quickly do the scroll groups as well. So you would just group all of this together and then Command G to group. And then I'm just gonna copy this background actually and move it down here for the time being. And yeah, that's fine. I'm gonna maybe just make this a little bit bigger. But what you would do, come over here to your scroll group options, and we'd choose this horizontal and vertical scroll. So this one's really good for maps of any kind. So just click that, and then bring these little guys in a bit. And this is where I'm going to use this as like a reference, just to see kind of how big I made this rectangle. And how wide I made it. So just drag those edges in a little bit. All right, and I can delete that now. And then if I send this backwards, there we go. Now we can see those little icons again. And when we preview this in the prototype tab, if we come up here, we can sort of zoom out and zoom around a little bit more. And obviously, if you're building this out like a lot more, you'd want to fix all of those edges and make sure everything's super straight. You would use a clipping mask within that map. But let's go ahead and add some more of our icons over here. And let's see, we've got this cute little apple pie stand. And these are just all from a bunch of projects that I've done in the past. Like I always say, keep all of your icons, your illustrations. You know, you never know when you might be using it again. If it's not obviously owned by whatever client you're working for. Always feel free to reuse these, especially if it's for the daily creative challenges. Let's bring this up here. Hayride. I just think these are so cute. And we've got a little apple. Okay, so also, if you wanted to, you could use your plugins to find a bunch of great illustrations and icons like this. So two that I really like to use. Streamline is probably the top one to use for icons. I feel like they have so many. So you just come down here to search, and maybe I'd search for like food, you press enter, and you've got all of these different, like tons of these. Look at all these different food icons. So you would grab a shape, circle or rectangle, whatever, and then come over here, maybe we choose this croissant, and it just places it right in there. And you'd obviously want to remove the border. You probably wouldn't want to circle since it's cutting off part of that. But, oh, this apple pie one is so cute. I should have used that. Anyway, so that is a great resource. The other one, no, it wasn't that one. What was it? Icons for Design. This is another one. Not quite as many as Streamline, but these you just drag them over or click and they're more like filled in like that. But that is another great resource for some free icons if you need them. So Streamline though, I use that one a lot. Love it. Okay, let's get back in our document assets over here and just kind of fill in some of these colors. And let's see, so this, I'm gonna use this light green. This one I'm gonna do, oh, these are still all in our repeat grid. I'm gonna ungroup those. This will make this peachy color. Yeah, Richard said I have to check out Streamline plugin. It is amazing, I love it. Let's see, let's make this. These are all just kind of lighter shades of whatever the icon is. This one I went for blue, and we can do this nice red color. Kind of matching all these shades over here. Apple pie looks good, and then this green. Okay. If you want to add more details over here, something I would add is like this little dot thing over here, just for seeing more details. That's the technical term, the dot thing. And I would use a repeat grid to kind of space these out evenly. Bring that up a bit. That's perfect. And same with these. If you want this to be a scroll group as well, I mean, you could group all of these. Command G to group, and then you just do this vertical scroll right here. And you could keep bringing this down as much as you want. Let's do a repeat grid just to show that. So let's say these are kind of scrolling off there. Maybe we've got like hundreds of different stands, and you would just do this. You could leave it right there if you want. And then if we press preview, we can scroll through all of these, which is very fun. So we've got our pan over here, and we've got our vertical scroll. And then let's see, I might not have time for, I think I do, for a little pop-up. So if I wanted to add like this little, let's bring this down here, this little like indicator, maybe you can click on each of these depending on what category you have selected. So we could just copy and paste a few of these like so. And then if we wanted to add a pop out from this, what we could do is group these two together and then come over here to our component, make it a component, and you'd want to add the open state and then the closed state. So closed, we would just remove this. Open, let's go ahead and just like add, let's say we have the pumpkin pie one selected here. So we'd have a little bit more detail about that one. And maybe no border. We could bring this down. This one I'm gonna ungroup it just to make it a little bit bigger. And here, we could copy this text again, bring it over right here. You know, maybe you add some more details about like what time it's open, things like that. And I'm just gonna use my Lorem Ipsum, my handy Lorem Ipsum fill-in text plugin. I love that one as well. Okay. This one's a little messy, kind of trying to rush. But basically you would group each of these and then on, oh, we need to redo this component. So we've got open and then closed. So on closed, we would just remove all of this. Like so. Oh, I didn't group all these. And then if you click on it, we've got opened and closed. So if you come over here into your prototype tab, you just need to add these interactions. So under interaction here, we have the tap trigger, and you can do auto animate, transition, just a normal transition if you want, but basically just link those two states up. So here we would tap again, and this would bring us back to open state. So let's go ahead and preview that. So if we click on this, oh, we need to change that out of auto animate. But basically, open and close that little guy. We can scroll through this. We can scroll through our map. And you'll notice I need to put each of these inside the map. I'm just trying to work too fast today. Let's group each of these. Bring this inside. And preview that again. There we go. Oh, I need to do that one as well. Bring this inside here. And let's play that. All right, now that's better. Perfect. All right, so that was a very fun one today. If you already did sort of a fall festival design for the last map one, you don't have to do fall festival. You can do any kind of map that you want. Does not matter. So let's go ahead and Command S to save. And oh my gosh, that is about all the time that we have left. Don't forget to put your work in this current challenge channel, and I will review it and give you feedback if you'd like it. So please keep sharing all of these. I love seeing your work. It all looks amazing. All right. Thank you guys all so much for joining me for today. Don't go anywhere, because in about 5 minutes we've got Design in the Dark with Andrew Hockrattle and Hood's Pod Design. And I will see you guys tomorrow again at 2 p.m. Pacific. Bye, everyone.